Getting the cameras set. Watch out for the fingers. Here we go.
And then for this, we're just going to do a direct connect, so you're going to be straight in through the...
So right now, just so everybody knows, we're pre-testing all of our gear. We're on Facebook Live and we're on YouTube Live. And so we got both cameras running. And we're waiting to bring in our special guest. We got so much good news coming our way today. It's a beautiful day to be alive. And I am so jazzed. This is really way cool. And we are, where's our clock? What time is it?
Would like to video call. This may work. I don't know. I don't have super good service, but it's right now it seems good.
Just turn them off then. I just wanted to say hi.
Hello.
I'm not attached to the screen, you know, to log, whatever.
We got, I'm watching Roz over here on another device. We got several cameras running here, and this is way fun. This is way cool.
We got 3 things live right now, and it's about to be 4.
Yeah, we're with three cameras live.
Yes, yes.
There you go.
Whoops.
So I guess if I do this, it'll connect to your show. Will it start?
It'll start when it's supposed to start, I believe.
Well, you could start it early. That is possible.
Hey! Hey, hi, Diana!
Drew Barnes, there's a brother right there.
Hey, bear with us. We're getting all the cameras set and getting ready to roll. And we're already live, coming in ORIN town. So awesome. We got Roz over here on another device, and she's in front of her computer. So, hey, Drew. This is awesome. This is beautiful. What a treat. What a joy. We've got so many wonderful, blessed people that are going to join us today. This is just so awesome. I love this.
So we got too much bandwidth on your connection now.
Okay, so I'll just turn my camera off, no worries.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll just stay on audio.
Yeah, not a problem.
And then I'll have to run my hotspot for your...
This is Tech in Action. We got
It's an
DJ...
816 number, that's this area code. I don't know who that is.
Wow.
Okay,
Are you going to produce right here from this, or are you going to produce from...
I'll be over there.
All right.
It's the thing is right now that you've got so much. You've got this going live. You've got Facebook going live. So you got 2 live videos. That's a lot of bandwidth, and then you're gonna be going here too. And I don't know if the connection can handle all that. So
Wow.
I've got my hotspot up now. So we can.
Well, if we have to eliminate anything, it's going to be the Facebook feed.
Oh,
I would think.
Can you move that?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you know, here we are.
Are you still there, Roslynn?
I'm still here, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So we're just, we're getting everything dialed in. So,
Okay, so hopefully
it's
trying
11:54.
to reconnect.
So bear with us. I figured I'll just, hey, hi Gina. I figured we'll just, you know, stay live streaming until we're ready to hit the radio. What do you think about that? You're our pre-show guest.
Oh, we lost Roslynn. Okay, so I think Facebook is a no-go. I think
Okay,
it's too much.
the tech decision is that Facebook is a no-go for now because it's taken too much bandwidth until we increase our, you know, bandwidth. And that's the way it rolls. But this is going to work. This is what we said we were doing. YouTube and blogtalkradio.com/the ORIN Oracles. And you can call in on that show at 646. You had it memorized.
I did. 646-668-2588.
There it is. But we'll be giving people that update throughout the show. So 5 minutes to countdown, and we're still dialing in the final pages and stages to go live on the airwaves. You know, I went to broadcasting school and graduated in 1990. So I've been waiting 27 years to go live on the radio.
Oh.
And here I am with DJ Danny D. With the magic fingers. We got things coming up. But we do have to get Roz dialed in. Now, she was working good on my phone when I had her
I'm
there.
back.
Hello. So we had to cut out Facebook. Too much bandwidth. So
Too much what?
Too much bandwidth. So we're rolling smooth now.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah. Oh. Oh. It's okay. Just get it settled.
We're working on getting camera angles correct, settled in.
3 more minutes.
3 more minutes.
Got 3 minutes to save the world here.
Yeah, we're going to save the world. P-dum come. Hey, look at that. What do you think, Anthony? How's that for the promo? In the stream of our water alive. We're going to be coming live on the radio. Minutes to go. I'm excited. I know that I know that homeboy here is excited. Oops, I got it.
I think so.
All right.
2 more minutes.
2 more minutes.
Aww.
Hey, we're doing pre-show warm-ups with our audience. Hey, Magdalena, how you doing?
Oh my gosh, it's finally working.
Okay, we're getting ready. We're connecting.
Beep 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 beep.
We're connecting. This is so much fun.
Okay. Hey, this is my mom. My mom just called in.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
Oh, we don't need instructions.
Your show is scheduled to start in 59 seconds.
59 seconds. We're scheduled.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna. Okay, he's getting over there. We got cameras getting set, and wow.
I was getting a little nervous there for a second, but it's finally working.
Everything is working.
Okay, so I'll do this. But,
we're gonna move this a little bit. What's our countdown? 27 seconds. Alrighty then. We're gonna get this set in a way that I like. How are you doing there,
Your
Roz?
show will go live in 5 seconds.
5
4,
seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, we're live. Have a listen to this, folks.
I drink my weed and I feel alright.
Yeah.
I drink my weed and I sleep at night. Drinking my weed, how good I feel. Drinking my weed and I'm for real. I'm drinking my weed. Drink my weed. I drink my pee and I feel free. Drinking my pee and it's good for me. I drink my pee and it tastes so good. I won't stop even though I could. I drink my pee. I drink my pee. I drink my pee. Oh my God.
Hey, we got people coming in on the radio. Hey, that was DJ Danny D. He recorded our intro music. Wasn't that awesome? We drink our pee, and we do. We are coming to you live right here from Orintown, Missouri. It's smack dab in the middle of the heartland. And man, are we about to have some fun. And so we've got guests in the queue. We've got people calling in the queue. And I got my online DJ Danny G. He's a genius. He's working it in the back of the scenes here. It's great. So we are live now on YouTube Live. And we are also live on blogtalkradio.com / ORIN Oracles. Now, here we're going to introduce a whole platform. The ORIN Oracles is actually a book. Let's do a little charade, shall we? It's a book, The ORIN Oracles. These were all poems that were inspired by urine therapy during the course of the broadcast show I did. Well, we didn't broadcast it live. And that was Weedu Speaks. And I wrote poems. I didn't know. It just kept coming and coming. So people said, where's the book? So here's the book. Now, this book is the only one published. That one right there. But I'm going to just give you an opportunity. But that's coming. Because right now, coming to you live from Orintown, Missouri. Orintown, Missouri. And this is where, wait a second. I feel some more coming. That's better. We're right here, live from Orintown, Missouri. It's where Peterman is freedom and piss is bliss. Oh man, we're going to have so much fun. So, just want to welcome everybody. Just come and join us. Join us on the love and peace train. Because as it flows through the stream, in picking up people who are joining the high vibe tribe. We share good vibrations, ORIN energy, and healing frequencies. That's what this is all about. We are just about our P here. So if P is something interesting to you, and in my observation, P should be interesting to everybody. It's the perfect barometer of life. It's really something that was a gift to all of us since the time we were little tiny embryos growing in the womb. And then we became, you know, these consuming beings instead of just recycling our beautiful waters. The stream of life that was given to us as a gift. Ah, yes, a gift. So, if you're down with that, you want to join us in this conversation, you're in the right place, because that's what we're going to be doing week in and week out. And what is awesome is that all the shows right now are getting booked all the way through December into January. Let me give you a clue of who is going to be joining the conversation with us in the weeks to come. Today, this is our first show, and isn't that awesome? I'm so excited. Is Roslynn, Dr. Roz Hansen. She's joining us from her little beautiful world up in Minneapolis. And we're excited about that. We had lunch with her. We drove 400 miles plus round trip just to have a lunch in a cold park in Des Moines, Iowa last Friday, and it was heavenly. It was so beautiful. I love P people. You know why? Because they're willing to share their hearts, their minds, and their good gifts, which is all love. It's all about being. This is what we want to introduce you to our show. The whole platform is set for you to just be. You can come in and join the conversation with any of us at all times. We welcome you. This is what we are about to do. Build a tribe worldwide. So people can join the conversation and talk about P. And not just P, because P is just the barometer. It's the opening gate. It's the floodgate. And we're about to get into that stream. So we got Dr. Oz coming up today. I've got Gerald Guevara coming up next week. We're going to be talking about ageism. Ageism is another division like black, white, young, old. Young, old is the biggest. It's a division just like the male, female, you know, the politics and ageism. We're going to get into that subject and see how P brings all these age things, puts them to rest. And then I'm going to be talking to Tony Hill. We're going to be talking yoga and other beautiful things. But here's the thing. Tony's going to be in Salvador del Bahia, Brazil, and he's going to be talking to us from the beach. Is that great? We're going international in the day after Christmas. And then Doc Precise is going to start us off in the new year. And we're going to be talking about how everything in life is an inside job. Then, coming to us from the UK is Samuel G. Cohen and Kelly, who are going to talk about drinking pee through the nose. And not just pee, but just drinking through the nose. But we're going to bring in Dr. Roz back on that conversation because she's a master at this. And so is my DJ Danny D. He drinks through his nose every day. He is bathing in his beautiful, beautiful waters. And he is such a pleasure to be around. And he's back here working. He's working the keys back there. He is a magician. And that's so cool. So, there's so many things that I want to share with you. I had to write them down. So, I brought my show notes. I hope you're okay with that. Because in 2 minutes, now there was a reason for all this. There was the first time the radio show idea came to mind was several months ago, after the symposium. And that's another thing. We're going to get into the symposium. But Roz and I have been friends for quite a while. We met on Facebook. And so I had this radio show idea, and I brought it to my friend Roz. I said, Roz, I had this idea about a radio show. What do you think? I said, oh, I got another idea. How about you and I do it as co-hosts? And then we were thinking, 11:11, we'll go on at 11:11, but you can't go on after the hour. You have to go on the top of the hour, the bottom of the hour. That's the way the format works. So we came in at 12:12:12 instead of 11:11:11. And today, my beautiful, wonderful guest, Dr. Roz, she's been my friend from the beginning. The minute we met, we started talking. We had a 6-hour conversation the first time we talked. The second time on a video chat, we were on for hours. And we've continued, and we have so much fun. She is a wizard. She is. She's got so much knowledge. And she has just such, whoa, wait a minute, where'd we go? She just brings so much knowledge to the table. And she's just such a delight. She's just a marvelous human being. She's just one of my dearest, dearest friends. I love her so dearly. And she does magical things in her greenhouse. She does. And she's known this alchemy for a long time. She had an amazing, amazing teacher. And I'm going to let her tell you all about it. Because right now, coming to you live from ORIN Town, Missouri, 80 acres of lush, beautiful land. I'm bringing you Dr. Roz. Dr. Roz is coming live. Can you hear me? You there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can the audience hear Dr. Roz all right? We want to make sure she's...
Hello, everybody.
Can anybody respond with so I know? I just want to see. Can you hear Dr. Roz all right? Because she's with us. I trust that you can hear her. So, yeah, anyway, here she is. Here she is. Anyway, please welcome her in. Woohoo! All right. Tell us something, my friend. Just, I don't want to put you on the spot, but here we are live.
Hot seat.
Hot seat. Okay, I can hear Dr. Roz. They're coming in. Hand claps. Well, okay. And you know what? I just want to make it clear. We are broadcasting all around the world. All around the world. People are coming in. I see them. We're getting them in every time zone. They're coming in. Ha ha ha. Welcome.
What time zone?
We're
here right now.
We're in the twilight zone right here. So we went for lunch in the park. Now this is how wonderful the P community can be, because we've been friends. We were at the symposium, and we had to just rely on the other means of communication. But we realized last week, it came to me on a Wednesday. I said, "Hey, Roz, how would you feel like going to lunch?" And she said, what a great idea. So she drove 4 hours down from St. Paul, and we drove 4 hours up from ORIN Town to meet in the middle in Des Moines, Iowa, the monks. And she brought this beautiful salad and of quinoa and red lentils. That was so delicious. And this soup she made. Tell them about the soup. The soup was awesome.
A cabbage, grated carrot, grated beet, 2 apples, some bay leaf, I used caraway, some parsley from the greenhouse. Just grated it all and simmered, and the beet is what makes the beautiful color. It's just a wonderful red, rose color. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, it was, and I made a Asian salad with Napa Valley cabbage and sesame seed oil and turmeric and anyway, all of it blended together. And she brought some persimmons that were delicious. So anyway, the point of all that is that we are bringing our world together. The High Vibe Tribe is just a community. It's a world of love and peace. And that's all we want to share with y'all is love and peace.
Definitely. Even though we're miles and miles apart, we're all one. As Jared would say, one voice, one people.
Yeah, Gerald's going to be our next guest coming up here soon, and next week, Tuesday, and
awesome.
he shared at this symposium. And here's another brother that I met on Facebook. I met so many people on Facebook and joining the groups, and that's the point. You should really involve yourself. I'm at my camera's picking up the sunlight. It's my golden glow. I have my angels flying in the window. Can you see how bright it is? So excuse the camera movement there. Wow, here we go. This is so much fun. So anyway, it's in this big world, this beautiful community has existed.
Vast.
It's vast. I am a part of 11 different groups myself, and there's people everywhere. People are everywhere, and new members, new people are joining these groups every day, and they're just asking questions and becoming a part of the conversation. And see, the thing with like Roz, the same with Daniel. The same with Magdalena. There's people coming in, Gina. All of these people were Facebook friends that I met because I saw their images and I said, I want to know who this person is. And I get to meet, I've done 11,000 miles so far in 3 months, logged in around this land of ours. And it is our land. It is beautiful out here, and we're everywhere. We're everywhere, and everybody can join the conversation. Is that cool or what? So we went and had lunch with Roz. It was a 425-mile round trip to have lunch with a dear friend.
Thank you. Thank you. It was wonderful to meet you both. Just to be in company physically. It is words that can't describe as like the symposium. We all met in one place as strangers and left as one, knowing who every individual was, as well as individually as ourselves. And that connection with the urine practice of urine drinking, if it's a little or a lot, we encompass what our body produces is perfectly designed by our own individual bodies. Am I still connected?
You
Hello?
are, you can hear a pin drop. You can hear a pin drop because what you have to say is that valuable.
Did you? Or
No.
did I lose myself?
You're coming in loud and clear, my friend. You are such a delight to be around, and I found this out going around the country.
Over the hours of talking.
Yeah,
Chatting.
yeah. I mean, this is the whole point. We're talking about a miracle and a beautiful embryonic journey through space right now, and we're all in this conversation that I find. When I look at what people are putting up in the Facebook page groups. And you look at some of the videos that are being posted, there's a lot of passion in this, and we just all need to bring it to the forefront. The perfect cure, it lives within all of us. And you don't need ailments in order to sign up on this measure. Everybody's got this beautiful gift, is that correct?
Perfect, beautiful gift.
Yeah. So,
It's your liquid self.
your liquid self, your perfect barometer. Yeah.
Your Shivambu knows you, and you know it. The connection is, so vast and versatile. And it's the practice of it, the use of it, it's ageless. There's no expiration date.
Which will be another whole topic that we'll have at some point with the aged urine, because that's a question that comes up a lot, is about aged and what's correct about aging, how long should you age, all of these questions are coming up. So we're going to dedicate a show to that subject in the near future. I already gave you kind of a rundown of the shows to come with the topics that we have in mind. So we'll keep reminding you, that, and that'll be a part. Again, I'm going to come back to the foundation of what we're building here, and ORIN Oracles is the foundation, is the cornerstone. And it's all just been inspired by urine therapy. And this isn't about me. I'm happy to be the host. As Weedu Shivambu, I am so honored and humbled to be the host. But we're just, build the stage and the players will come. And we invite you to join the conversation because you are the conversation. Bring in your testimony. Sharing how, pee was introduced to you, how your pee has changed your life, how pee has brought you to a higher frequency, opened your pineal gland, started your streams of flowing to where you are measuring your own wealth of health every single day. It's as natural as breathing. And that's another whole show we're going to be doing. Is breatharianism, fasting. These are all things that are in the queue that are coming up. We want to open the dialogue for everybody to share their wisdom. And every pea drinker I have had the privilege of meeting brings wisdom because they're experienced. And in that experience, great storytelling, and that is a gift. The people that have testimony, that share passionately, it comes so organically. And so this is open mic. Open mic Tuesday from Orin Town. So what do you think about all that, Dr. Roz?
I think it's synchronicity. of how it all works, it flows together, of how you're cleansing your body, with your own waters to repair, maybe it's a scratch, maybe it's an itch, a ringing in your ear.
Okay, so Facebook. Oh, he's coming in. No volume on the show. Is it me? We had to cut out of Facebook. We have a limited bandwidth, so until we get a higher speed modem of some sort to be able to simulcast. Right now, we're dedicated to YouTube Live, which I'm recording on at / Weedu Shivambu, I believe, ORIN ORACLES. Weedu Shivambu / the ORIN ORACLES. You should find us live streaming now. And we're coming through clear by everything I can see in the queue here that we're on air at blogtalkradio.com, and that's / the ORIN ORACLES. And so one of our future guests here, Doc Precise, he said there's no volume on the show on Facebook. So if you can hear me, Doc, I just explained that. So I want you to tell us a little bit of your background, how you were introduced, Roz, to the whole Shivambu practitionering, and if I remember correctly, it's Ram, who was a neighbor. Is that correct?
Swami Rama is his title, or at least I just called him Rama. He was a house guest to a neighbor, and he would practice his rites, the 5 Tibetan rites, and other yoga or meditative practices. And us as the neighborhood kids, we would, I watched, just out of the corner of my eye as we were fishing, taking the neighbor's rowboat, because we lived on a lake when I was growing up. And, one day, as we were, getting close to watch, see what he was doing, occasionally I would walk through his realm of what he was doing. He interacted with us with swimming and fishing with us. And one day, as I observed him drinking, he was drinking through his nose, and I came out of the bushes and asked him how he did that. And he just demonstrated by finishing drinking the glass. There's some dialing going on. And he just emptied the glass, and I said, well, what was that?
Start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2. To speak to customer service, press 3.
Hang on one second. Somehow we got disconnected from the Blog Talk Radio, so we're reconnecting now. So anybody who lost that signal, hang on. I trust that everybody can hear me now. If you lost us for some reason, the Blog Talk just disconnected on us for a second, but as it appears, we're running again. So pardon the interruption. So
as he just demonstrated to me, as I was the drinking through the nose, he just said it was Shivambu. Now, I've never heard of Shivambu, and he's just said, you Shivambu knows you, and you know it. And my curiosity, how does it know you? And he says, well, it is coming from you. And, okay. So I didn't understand that at, 7 years of age. And, he just dialed in how or what Shivambu was, but not telling me where it came from. And why he drank through the nose, and that was his conversation, was to stimulate or enhance his thinking, his meditative state of being, and recognizing and acknowledging the Shivambu that was of him. And so, of course, I dashed home and, tried to drink, water into my nose, but, I became frustrated with that and, asked more questions, and, and he didn't reveal the answers because he wanted me to know more. So out of understanding, the Shivambu, he opened his bag to me and he displayed the conversation as there's young Shivambu and there's old Shivambu. And in the bottom of the bag, looking in his bag, I could see the symbol of the yin-yang sign. And he had inverted the bag and put the young Shivambu on the white part of the yin-yang. And then with his copper cup, he put the old Shivambu on the black of the yin-yang sign. And they had some brown bottles with that he said are old Shivambu. And that Shivambu, it has a spirit in it of him and of others, of his family. I didn't understand all that, but it was basically understanding the difference between the young Shivambu and the old Shivambu and how to bring them together. So in his practice, sipping on the old Shivambu and doing swishing and then spitting it in the fresh Shivambu. And with this practice, you can read or see how the old Shivambu mixes with the fresh Shivambu. Like one would read tea, you're reading your pee.
Yeah. Happy little pea cup. And you've been doing, you've been like curing it in copper. And I know Danny D has been doing that too, and his has been turning green. And apparently some others turned blue in that same sequence. And tell us about the copper experience, because this is something you've really started a week or so ago. Is that right?
Quietly on my own for the last couple of months, past 2 months, right shortly after the symposium. So it's pushing 3. I knew the cup he used to drink from, the fresh Shivambu, that with the nose drinking was a copper cup, because that's what he drank out of. So part of my picture was putting this puzzle together of my observations through 2 summers when he came to visit, and observing him, watching him, and occasionally if I asked too many questions, he shooed me away. And
you were like 7 or 8 at this time?
At that time, yes.
Yeah.
So I would sit, or I would, watch from a corner view of, I was thinking out of his range, but perhaps he knew I was watching, so he was diligent to just do things slowly. So I was watching, And occasionally, on days when I was watching, if we interacted, say he came swimming with us, he would, ask, "Did I see? Did you see? Did you see?" And I'm like, "Yes, yeah, I was watching." So he would ask me to show him what I saw. So it was kind of like a mind game of trying. I didn't know what was in some of the bottles or the things in the bag exactly, but sometimes he would allow me to look inside the bag of the little tiny vials of seeds, herbs, and trinkets that he would use in his daily practice.
So he was seemingly introducing you to the future land of Roz.
I believe so.
You know, and you
never in the journey.
Yeah. And you've been on your property for quite a while, right? So you've been the mayor of Roz for a while there with your greenhouse and your cisterns, and you do organic gardening with your pea.
Yeah. I've been doing that since
Tell us the story right now, because this is really, this is just rude. You've been doing the organic gardening with that compost now for how long?
In my property in the backyard, almost 24 years.
24 years she has been growing her gardens and has a compost that she has worked in order to support her gardens. So, currently, this just happened last week, is that correct? With the neighbor?
Yeah, last Thursday.
Last Thursday, her neighbor took it upon herself to alert the authorities about, her compost. And it was officer not so friendly, if I remember. Can you tell us that story, what happened about your compost? Because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, the chief of police, made a phone call and dialogued that I had to remove my compost, and that I was no longer, I'm perhaps not allowed to have a compost because I don't comply with the ordinances, and I, can acknowledge the location of the composting where it's at doesn't align with the composting rules, and I would oblige to changing its location because right now it's frozen and it's kind of hard to dig out a frozen compost, but it's actually a pile of dirt right now because this compost, I need to move it immediately, is 2 years old. And of course, his conversation with the officer was I needed to remove it immediately or I'll have a citation. Anyhow, no worries. And of course it was he was dialing in that he could see somebody took a picture of it. I don't know who, he didn't disclose that, of the view of it, but there's no footprints in my backyard that I can see that are different from mine. So I was like, the neighbor might have taken it above his fence. I don't know the perspective of the picture taken that the officer was given, and the containment that I need to have needs to be rodent proof, not wood and not plastic. So I've looked online to see if there's a rodent-proof composting construction product or material available. And there is, but most of them are plastic. And that's probably something I would choose not to use for my composting routine. So at this point, we'll just carry on until spring, as Mother Nature says things need to rest.
Well, and
hopefully I don't get arrested.
we're talking a 2-year-old compilation, dirt and compost, whatever, and the concerned citizen next door has lived there for a few months or something.
I think 9 months.
9 months. Aren't neighbors great sometimes? But here's the thing: is that in Roz has been doing this for a long time, and last symposium back in September, the very first, the first one, but not the last one. It was the first one, and she brought along with her some of her vegetables that she was growing with her urine cisterns, and they were huge. There was this black radish that was like a bowling ball, I swear to God, and these tomatoes, which were the smaller ones, which she could carry, and then and then she brought some dandelion root and leaf for lunch, and
wonderful vegetables.
So, and this is going to be another whole show down the road, is the organic gardening with P. Because we're going to have a couple of guests on this. I got several people that are familiar with this subject that we're going to bring together on that conversation. And, that's going to be awesome. So, now... you are a mother of twins and have another lad who's 14. So you got two 12-year-old boys and a 14-year-old son, and a husband who's getting his PhD, if that's correct, in Budapest, Hungary.
Budapest, Hungary, yeah.
So tell us about how you integrate your urine therapy with your family, and what participation and cooperation that and tell us. This is, I think, an important for mothers, because this is a question that comes up a lot. Is, how can I get my kids started? I mean, what, kind of parameters? People are always curious about how they introduce urine therapy to their children. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, and also how you and your husband, how you kept it from him for a while. Tell us all about that.
Oh yeah. Oh, after 40 years in the closet, you know how to do it secretly. Drinking urine, saving urine, but the application of, I guess, my story of coming out of the closet begins with some vertigo that I had, and struggled with trying to understand, how, I candled my ear, I did some acupuncture, chiropractic, but it only happened when I was laying down, so I really didn't find it too threatening, because I couldn't fall down because I was already laying down.
And what was that? What was that vertigo caused from?
That I guess that will remain a mystery. But as about a month and a half into this particular lying down vertigo sensation, it would feel like my right eye was wobbling in my head, and my right hearing just had a very different sensation in it. And just looking and being in the bathroom one morning, it's just like, allow me, thinking to myself, allow myself to know what's going on. And, a little voice in my head said, what would Rama do? And I'm like, oh yeah, ding, 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 ding. Rama would, because I drank, quietly, secretly, and not as frequently as maybe as I'm doing today. And so I, grabbed the children's eye cups, I should say, I call them eye cups, but they're swimming goggles, and put some pee in there and put the goggles on, and did that for a consecutive 3 times a day for 3 days in a row, and by the 4th day, the vertigo was gone. I also washed my both ears with a rinse, just put a couple drops in, tilt my head, let it drain out, put some urine in, swish my finger in there and tip it out. And, 4th day vertigo is gone. So with that, I also started drinking, consecutively that morning urine that Rama said was the most important to drink. And by then, on the 4th day, I went to the computer, not very, kind of shy about using the computer. I mistakenly misspelled Shivambu, but there was a web page that came up that was Munot, and that was MUTON.IN, and clicked on it, and spent about 200 hours of reading information about Shivambu in the practice of it, and this is I climbed up the mountain, and I was like, I see it all. This is, and it's been a wonderful, amazing journey, putting the puzzle together of my youth experience, watching Rama show the ins and outs of the practice of Shivambu with yoga, with herbs, and how he made, his practice of separating the cream of aged urine to dry the ormus, and how to clean it with fresh urine, and then with the consecutive days of fresh urine washing, and then drying it. And of course, there was times I was able to view him taking various material from the Shivambu, aged Shivambu, and also consuming it. Body rubs, eye washing, ear washing. Perhaps, I know that it wasn't for my viewing, but he would put up a red rug in front of his little tent. He had kind of a sheer, colorful tent, and occasionally there was always a thing that hung in the tree above the tent, and I didn't know at the time what it was, but in hindsight now, it was the enema bag.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha, yeah.
So he would put the red rug out, stating it was his time to be alone. Questions asked, do not disturb.
Yeah, that's great.
There was time he would do headstands or handstands.
Right, that's when he was working the enema thing to jiggle it up, right? To work all those lower organs.
Yeah, he'd be handstanding, it seemed like forever. But again, I didn't know what he was doing, and for that practice, because that's when he said you need to stay away, don't disturb me, But I would, just watch from a distance, kind of like watching the neighbor from the backyard.
So tell us how he first was inquisitive, and what you did when you started introducing urine therapy to your family.
Well, when I was pregnant, first pregnancy, I just took my fresh urine and rubbed it on my belly, knew enough to do that, or instinctively, you know, and as, you know, the first child, second pregnancy occurred, and, you know, just not understanding totally what I was, you know, dibble-dabbling in, but just remembering dialogue. And there was, you know, we moved when I was a child at some point, so the relationship, you know, was abruptly changed because we moved to a different location. But I had gone to school, and, you know, 15 years later is when I met Grandma again, briefly, before he went back to India, and he gave me some books that I received from my old neighbor. And upon graduating from my cosmetology school education, that I was presented the 3 books, 2 herb books, and then the tissue cleansing through bowel management by Dr. Bernard Jensen. So I, you know, riddled through these books for years, looking for the, you know, Shivambu answers or the conclusion. But in the book that was the tissue cleansing, he had written, or in most of it was in his Hindu, because it was his book, but of course there was words in there with English, and anywhere it said water, he crossed it out and wrote Shivambu. And I think that was for me to, you know, interpret or read it correctly. Even though most of it was all in, you know, other Sanskrit or writing that, you know, I couldn't read. I do not have that book on my possession. It disappeared. But I have the new edition of that same book, and I've now have passed it to a client of mine, but that will hopefully return back to me so I can finish what I can remember to put in the book that I can recall of his drawings or writings, and hopefully, you know, get it translated.
Now, when you say client, you're talking about the body work. Why don't you tell us a little about that?
Oh, I'm a massage practitioner. I've been one of my massage clients. You know, most of my massage clients are aware of my practice of urine drinking, and they've watched, you know, been attentive to the last particular 4 years of my daily practice of the urine therapy, and, you know, their curiosity is, you know, tell me more, and you know, they're inquisitive, of course, but if the idea, you know, seems absurd, of course, at first to most people, and as they're, you know, trying to identify their own issues, you know, that are not given an infinitive answer by our standard American medical system, that, you know, they're curious enough to, you know, would this Shivambu or urine therapy work to their ailments? You know, as a massage practitioner, I have my limits of scale of where and what massage can do for the body, and it's healing, but so far so good. Several clients have, you know, addressed some of their symptoms. You know, primarily it's constipation, allergies, headaches, you know, some skin rashes that they're, you know, eczema that they exhibit. To one gentleman is, you know, excited about, you know, regrowth of hair. Just, he's not ready to drink it, but he's willing to wash his hair with it.
So I'll ask because I think it's fascinating. I think the listeners would really appreciate how you introduced it to your husband, and your kids and how they participate with the whole household?
Well, as the boys were being potty trained, I would just tell them that, I showed them it was okay to taste their urine, like, touch it, put your hands in it, I knew if they would put it on their hands and, of course they would dry their hand, but it was still being there, but also told them to pee in the tub. And, the bathing part was a factor that I think helped the boys know that it was okay, versus, not to pee in the tub. I said pee in the tub. I didn't say never to not pee in the tub with them when they were growing up. And as kids, they are attracted to water. And, that was, a thing that my husband's like, that's kind of gross. I told him, you should pee in the tub too, and get in the tub with them. That's part of the the encompassing of being one and sharing. And
now, didn't Nada ask you one time like why you're never sick? Why aren't the boys sick? Why aren't you sick?
Correct. Yes, that's so. He, asked various times. He'd be sick. He's like, why is nobody else getting sick? Like,
hey, I just I had a screen pop up here from a listener, and I just gonna quickly address what they were asking, and it had to do with alcohol and tobacco, and I had stopped drinking and cigarettes way before urine therapy, and I hadn't smoked and I hadn't drank for a couple of years, and but I confess I've been having cigarettes just lately, just in the last week. It's brutally cold. And it is a whole new energy here at ORIN Town. It is cold in the heartland. I dream of the beach. So there's my rationalization and my justification to validate the choice I made, which is that I've been smoking cigarettes again, hand rolling them.
okay.
So just so you know, I paid attention. I saw your little message there, and I hope that answered your question. So I was doing all of that before urine therapy, just so you know. And so urine therapy is certainly supportive of changing any habit that you may have, simply because it is a re-energizer. It is your it's stem cell energy. It's your plasma ultrafiltrate. And that's why it is a perfect cure and an aid and assistant to your fasting approaches, your health choices, and your dietary choices. So you want to add to that one?
Well, as I guess my Ata was in Hungary when all this occurred. Primarily, he knew about the vertigo because I had it before he left. But when he went back to Hungary, he could, as we Facebook talked, just as I'm kind of chatting here now, he just had noticed a different. He's like, "What's going on?" And I said, "Well, this by face conversation, he could hear. He heard something that like you're doing something." He became really quite suspicious, and I guess I was more cheerful, less, of a just trudge through the BS that we're given or trudging through. Because I was, standard American diet, of still having occasional beer here and there, and ate animal, but that's part of the change. That instead of looking at evacuating everything out of my diet, I was like, I'm just introducing one new thing. And that one new thing was the habit of drinking the urine daily, and of course by the various dialogue of internet researching that, drinking the urine throughout the day, I was like, I'm on it, I'll do that. And I've done that in the past. A quick story, I was 15 and drank my urine for 15 days, but just the morning urine, and it changed, my menstrual cycle dramatically. And of course, became aware to somebody else in my family, and that led into having a pregnancy test done, but that came up negative. So I, just stopped drinking urine because I was like, well, I didn't know what was going on. I was just 15 of what was occurring in my body. But it was a very, enlightening, scary kind of experience because I was being accused of something that I didn't do, but had to, swallow that, that blue pill.
Yeah. Well, it's all conditioning, and all we're doing is reconditioning. I was having a conversation with, several people lately, and, the thing is that when we switch away from our indoctrinations, and start getting understood that we're in complete control, that all the beliefs that we were given, most of them were a hoax. They were incorrect, and that we were looking in the wrong direction. And so urine just seems to be like a taboo, but at this point I don't let anybody poo-poo on my pee-pee, because I found it in my own experience to be the absolute perfect cure. And it's been coming on 11 months now. It was January of this year that I first learned about the urine therapy. And I had horrible arthritis in my hands. At that point, they were really dysfunctional. I couldn't even open bottle caps. And so... they were all decrepit and really shaky like that. I don't over dramatize that. My hands were really, I was suffering. I was seeing a hand therapist and preparing for surgery when I first heard allegedly Dave Moore speak. He was speaking on another subject, and I was listening, and all of a sudden he said urine therapy, and I went, what? And so it was all a surprise to me this year. And so I'm going to go back to the person that was addressing the addictions, because this is an important aspect of all of it. And in my own involvement, I'll just tell you the brief of how quickly it changed for me, because it was all about the habits. Now, I was already a vegan. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't smoking when I learned about urine therapy. So I had already dislodged. I wasn't even drinking coffee then. I'd quit doing that months before. So then I learned about urine therapy. All of a sudden, I just said, wow, I think I'm in. So by January 23rd of this year, I started looping, and I started consuming distilled water as well. So between the combination of the two, I was doing a gallon a day. I quit cooked food altogether. I was just doing raw fruit, and I did this for the first couple of weeks. And as a result of that, my health just improved immediately, immensely. My hands, I was able to start moving them like this, and I had surgery on this one, and this one still has limitations, and it's a little difficult even here because of the cold, but the surgery didn't enhance my hand, it made it worse. My pee made the other hand function to the best of its ability. So I have a naturopathic and an allopathic example of how quickly the pee changed for me by drinking and looping my pee. So I got rid of the arthritis, the bursitis, the tendinitis, and the COPD, and the sciatica. I had excessive cramping going on in my hamstrings and my calves. So all of these things started shifting and disappearing. I have degenerative disc disease, but I am curing it. I know it. I can feel it. And I quit taking all the meds. So now when we talk about addiction, and habits, because everything is habitual. Consumerism, gambling, smoking, drinking, eating, ice cream, pizza, it becomes it's a habit. So when we want to change habits, what's more important than what we're doing habitually is what triggers that emotion absolutely. Because it becomes a passionate call and response. And so we have to address that first. So in the conversation of addiction, which is going to be a show entirely of its own, but just addressing that issue, take a look at what triggers the event, not the result of what you do as a response mechanism. See if you can see what triggers the event. And then you might get more attuned, atonement, because drinking your pee opens up when it decalcifies, and this is the critical part, is that it is a cleansing agent. So when you reintroduce it and you start looping it, this is why I consider it the perfect cure, because it'll start clearing up your pineal and your pituitary, so they decalcify, because they're intent to be liquid. They're liquid in form. So by consuming fluoride and chlorine and barium and aluminum, these are the links that take us to dementia and also Alzheimer's. So they're deliberately induced into us in many means, whether it's air, water, or food. So how do we combat that? With the perfect cure. You drink your pee, and it's a shield. It becomes a pee coat, your pee shield, and it protects you. So if you breathe, you're going to be bringing in, with some of the strands of barium that they're running in the sky with what we're breathing, they're reweaving, they're messing with our DNA on purpose.
Yeah, the snow is not melting in Minnesota. At least when you light it on fire.
Yeah, you were saying earlier that you took a lighter or something to it and it wouldn't melt.
No.
Yeah.
Put it in a snowball.
And it
didn't melt.
Weird weather events. We'll have to make that even another show. So I'm having the time of my life. And how about you, my dear friend Roz?
Enjoying every moment.
That's
Every moment. How about you, Daniel?
I'm feeling good over here.
Good. The mouse in the corner.
Yep.
Yeah. He's I'm leaning in and reading. People are commenting on the YouTube channel. Do we have anybody in queue? Because I don't see anything here. I mean, as far as call-ins.
In queue? No.
Okay, so we're getting comments on YouTube, and that's what I'm responding to. And so, anyway, I'm going to shift gears for a second, because I want to take a moment to promote. and it has to do with the ORIN Oracles, okay? So I'm setting up a fundraiser, and I want to introduce this to you now. And I'm getting another screen for some reason. Text coming in. I got so many pop-ups going on. I just it's fun. We're live. So anyway, I want to introduce what we're doing with the book. Okay. Now the book is all done. And the foreword is being written by my dear friend Monica Shute. The whole thing is ready to go to the publisher. So all I need to get it shipped off to the publisher and get the ball rolling with a crew is an upfront installment to the publishers. Now, I'm happy with the publishers. I'm happy with what we can produce. So here's what I'm throwing out. Is that the very first 100 people that donate $25, and you can donate at paypal.me/Weedu. The first 100 who donate $25 towards getting the book published, I'm going to secure you a numbered and signed copy. So you'll be the first 100 to get the ship out of personalized books. And I'm going to limit it to the first 100 to do that, but anybody can join in on this, and I welcome you to do so. We are, the book there is the premise is we're hoping that it will help keep the machine rolling here so that we can keep producing, expanding, and bringing in more and more people into the conversation and travel about because we are a road show as well. And so all of these just require, some additional funds from what we're working with. And so we really want to get the book published. And so if you want to donate and join in the conversation, we welcome you to do so. And so with that being said, I also, I'm going to introduce a new poem that I wrote. This is going to be poem number 1 for book number 2. And with that in mind, always keep your peace together. Support the symposium. But I got a new poem for you. It's called ORIN Town Bliss. And it goes a little something like this. A healthy reminder, it's a gift to myself, is just being. Simply myself. Breathing the echo, grounding space, treading lightly without a trace. Simply being alive at large, streaming my waters, a vibrational charge. Receiving blessings from ORIN Town Bliss. Pedum is freedom and piss is bliss. Don't let it shock you. We're just getting pissed. Grounding ourselves on ORIN Town Bliss. You could be mayor with a hug and a kiss, bathing yourself in ORIN Town Bliss. So that's poem number 1 for book number 2. But let's get book number 1 out first and foremost. So we appreciate your support. Again, that is at paypal.me /Weedu. So we welcome you. So let's see. People are talking about enemas, all sorts of comments. They're coming up faster than I can read them all. So if I don't get to them, we'll go back and study them in show notes. Every single show is going to have a theme. And so I'm just going to remind you, this one we're talking about the perfect cure. But when it comes to enemas and addiction and all these other subjects, we're gonna dedicate shows to different subjects. So this one today is about the perfect cure. So we're just introducing ourselves. We're introducing ORIN Town. We're introducing the exercise and modalities that we do use and how we use them. And next week, I'm going to have Gerald Guevara on. And we're going to be talking about how the society keeps trying to separate us in age, but how urine brings all of us together and annihilates the age thing. So that's going to be a subject for next week. And then the week after that, Tony Hill's going to be calling in from Salvador de Bahia in Brazil. So he's going to be calling us from the beach, which is going to be awesome. That'll be our first international call with a guest. And then the week after that is Doc Precise. He'll be calling in from New York. And we're going to be talking about how everything in our life is an inside job. So that's going to be an exciting show to start the new year. And then the following week, we're going to get our second international call. That's going to be coming from the UK with Samuel G. Cohen and Kelly. And we're going to be learning all about drinking through the nose on that episode, on that broadcast. So I hope you're excited as we are. We're enjoying ourselves thoroughly here. My DJ Danny D is mastering everything, and we're dialing everything. We're getting it pretty comfortable to ourselves right now. We're on air on blogtalkradio.com / the ORIN Oracles. We're on YouTube Live on Weedu Shivambu. And we're going to get an increased broadband at some point so that we can expand the medium so we can include more devices. But right now we're limited to the YouTube and the Blog Talk Radio. But man, we're excited about that. And we're still here with our special guest, Dr. Roz, who's calling in from Minnesota. And you still with us there, darling?
Yes, yes, I am.
I'm so glad to hear your voice. So, tell us something right off the top of your head. Just what are you thinking right this second?
Well, to answer the conversation with my husband, opening up to him about the practice of urine drinking. He was in Hungary. Telling him on the phone or by Facebook chat, just drink his urine. And he's like, what? And he, came home about a week later and he goes, how long you been doing this? Face-to-face conversation, we discussed it no further than.
Was he a bit confrontational, or was he okay? How did he?
No, he dove right in.
Yeah.
He's like, remember you asked me so many times why I'm never sick. So he's like, oh, okay. He started drinking, in Hungary before he even came home, and so out of his own experience, he, went through it, when he came home, he was still doing, what we call detoxing. And, though he would express it, I'm sick, and like, no, you're just getting rid of all the old sick patterns that potentially hovered or your body was able to deal with in its natural way to have homeostasis happen. He was a chronic digestive issues that would bring on headaches, and that was one of the first things that disappeared, is his headaches. And he has not had a headache since, and of that nature where he would be vomiting and just incapacitated for several hours, if not a day.
And was he experiencing that in like your early marriage, or was this something before you ever met?
When we met, yes. Which he would just take your headache medicine, swallow a pill, and you'd go lay down with a cloth on his forehead, and occasionally would need to get up and vacate, by vomiting whatever was the content or material that he thought was disturbing his digestion. And slowly, that week in Hungary, before he returned home, he was just like, my headaches are gone. And like, yes. And, though he knew I was collecting urine in containers and keeping it in the garage, but primarily, I was using it to age and put on the garden. Had been doing that for years before I met him. And, so the urine to be around, encompassing in our life, was kind of normal, but not for him to know that I was drinking it.
Right. So, How long ago do you think that it was that you kind of really fully came out of the closet about it and really kind of owned it as publicly as you do now?
In 2013.
So it's been several years.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's when as I was reading, and I knew that I knew about drinking it daily, but not the practice of looping it, which I saw Raman doing. The interesting part is, as a 7-year-old, understanding and wrapping my head around watching a man drink urine through his nose daily, looping it, and he described that the Shivambu knows you and you know it. It will keep you well. So, and him telling me to drink it when I was sick. And at a 7-year-old level, I viewed him, oh, he's sick. That's why he's drinking it.
Right.
Misinterpretation of the practice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I met him 15 years later that, that conversation, only drink it when you're sick, is to prevent being sick.
Right. And that's exactly why I say it always. That it's, at this point, I do feel like I have totally got a handle on all of the chronics that I was experiencing, and I quit taking the meds that I used to. And so I do it totally as a proactive means always, because I'm still breathing. And as long as you're breathing, you're getting toxins in. Even if you were just doing nothing but breatharian work, you're still dealing with a toxic air element. And by drinking your pee, you're running a constant proactive, preventative, operative that is the perfect cure, which is the theme to our show today.
Those smart stem cells that we produce.
Yeah, and that's
back to our body. It's kind of like giving ourselves a little dose of a new battery, to add to our charge.
No, and I feel this daily because I wake up and I can have like I can feel a little sore, and just like my little creaky body is starting the day, and as soon as I drink my pee, within moments, that all just shifts immediately. Like immediately. I can't believe how quickly it happens. I mean, back in the day when I would take all the meds or, have my cocktails and just start, cranking in the chronic shit, it would take a while. The only thing that worked really fast was smoking doobage, because I would get effects within the first couple of hits. But everything else would take a long time. But piss works really fast, just like pot does. They work really fast.
It sinks right in. Sinking in our skin. Our largest organ.
Yeah, and that's so true. The body rub stuff, especially with the aged, and again, we're going to have that as a completely separate show to talk about how to age properly and what experiences different people have with the different aging and the different years of its process. It's really an amazing subject on its own, big time.
Well, even with just the application of fresh urine on the skin, those that are not ready for the aged, still has its level of healing with the body that is indicative for a beginner to work with, because of the detoxification symptoms are a little milder and easier to deal with.
Yes.
Versus when you're using the aged, you're kind of working with some rocket fuel.
Right. It's a much more powerful elixir, for sure. And I do my hair with my fresh morning pee. I wash my face and my eyes, and I do my hair. How did my makeup and hair person do today? I love urine in my hair. The fresh urine in the hair is the bomb. In the morning, just like rubbing it through and rubbing it into the scalp. I'm telling you, it's premium stock. First morning pee, drink it, put some on your face, put it in your hair. And then again, what Roz was saying is all about body rubs, because the skin is the biggest organ and it absorbs it really well. And she's the one who turned me on to putting urine in rubber boots for foot massaging. And also you can use rubber gloves for hand massaging, as well as swimming goggles for eye massaging. And when it comes to the ears, fingers, I guess, work best. And neti pots and other...
I remember growing up having maybe, say, I grew up where my grandmother put a baby oil on a cotton ball. Well, instead of that, baby oil, you would use your fresh urine and use the cotton ball to lodge or hold the urine within those tissues in the ear.
Yes.
Which, you know, with my 3 boys, they never had any antibiotics because they never had an ear infection. And if they did exhibit an ear issue, I just told them to piss in a cotton ball and I would put it in their ear. I mean, that's how quietly I did things. And like if I made them hot cocoa or lemonade, that's where I would disguise the aged urine drops or 2 that I would put in their lemonade.
Oh, so you were slipping your children some toddies, were ya?
Certainly. Of their own, you know, I would separate, you know, age their own urine, and now they're open, and it's another dialogue of, you know, a family cocktail.
There you go. It really redefines the word cocktail from a male point of view.
Or family union.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. What we're doing here, I have this beautiful pyramid that my dear friend Diana Avina makes these, and we're going to put these up in the eventuality because she produces a beautiful product. And it's so energetically sound, these pyramids. So our shrine includes in centerpieces with that pyramid. And it's wrapped in copper. It's coiled. It has some candles surrounding it. But it has, more importantly, a jar that has both DJ Danny D and yours truly's fine wine mixed together, and we have copper wire outside grounded, and it comes up and wraps around the pyramid, and then it also fuses into the collective waters. And I also have this in my storage unit of my pee and storage. My aging urine is also grounded by copper wire that comes in, and then it feeds into the one jug, and then kind of ponies in with other wires into the other jug. So we are now fusing all our urine. This is our loving cup. So whenever you come out to Orin Town, we're going to have collective TP. We're going to have a pyramid. We're going to have a TP that's going to be collective, and it's going to be operational because it's going to be running our collective P through copper tubing and pulling in photosynthesis, empowering us all. Is that cool? Is that cool or what?
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, you know, it's a whole new thing going on in this this land of Pedum for all of us, right? I mean, that's the beauty of it, is that it's a never-ending discovery of magic, of how many useful ways that you can apply urine in your life. We use it to do our laundry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's the
laundry detergent you can buy, or you can't buy.
Yeah, and here's the thing, today we're talking about the perfect cure, but see, when it comes to laundry, there's the perfect cure. Your urine works awesomely in the laundry, and you don't have to use those harsh, ugly detergents anymore. They're not necessary. It's the perfect laundry day miracle. It is, which is awesome. There's so many useful ways that pee just changes our lives and changes our conversations. When you start decalcifying your body, you'll feel way differently. You'll think way differently. You'll just see it. Any pee drinker knows they're different. They've changed. And anybody who drinks their pee on a regular basis knows what I'm saying. Those that are still questioning, still wondering, take a look. That's all any of us did. That's why we're doing this, is so that people might have a safe place to come, take a look, take a listen, and see why pee works so well for everyone. Whether you drink it, whether you rub it in, whether you, do it in your hair, doesn't matter. All of it's good. Put it in your garden. It works. Right?
Beautifully.
Yeah.
That
radish.
There was a couple years ago that one of the practices that Rama would do is he would wrap his feet in a cloth, like, a long strip of cloth, like he was making his own boots, and then would walk around with, pee-pee fabric on his legs, and, would do that not every day, but in correlation of that was what that body part he was working on at that time. And it's like, well, I think I can just put the urine in a boot instead of Puss in Boots. It's Piss in Boots.
Yeah, Piss in Boots. I love that part. At the symposium,
the perfect container.
Yeah, because you had told me about the rubber boots months before, and I brought my rubber boots because I was on the road, and that was the first time I tried it, and it was magical. Sloshing around the lobby of the Hilton with pissin' boots. And they were sloshing, man. When I went to take them off and do all that, it seemed like every employee in the hotel was lined up in a row, listening to me walking by with my sloshing boots. Oh, and speaking of the symposium, hey, the symposium is coming up next year in September in Las Vegas. And the tickets are available now. They're only $35, folks. Register. Just go ahead, sign up and register. Support the ongoing movement. We're all in this together. As our next guest, Jared Guevara, says, it's one voice, one people, one voice. And that brother is on fire. He got up and performed for us at the symposium, and he did that piece. He wrote it. It's called One People, One Voice. And it was awesome. It was really awesome. So look forward to next week as well, because he's going to be here to join us and have a great conversation as well. This is just so much fun, what we're doing here. It is. And I mean, the comments are coming up. I can see there's, people listening in. So thank you for joining in. This is just the beginning. We're going to start doing this on a real regular basis, folks. Every Tuesday for now, we're going to start out with one show a week. On Tuesdays at noon from live from ORIN Town, Missouri. And it is going to be at 12 noon Central Standard Time. So you need to figure that out on your own clocks. We're broadcasting at high noon Central Standard Time. Ha ha! Got to plug, this is a radio show, so I got to do all of my own commercials and plugs, but I trust you're all okay with that. We're here to create a movement, the High Vibe Tribe, and we welcome you to join into the conversation at any time. We welcome you. It's a beautiful thing. It is. There's so many groovy people out there that are, they just keep appearing. Day by day, this is something that is growing. Every day, there's new people waking up. And so the more people that wake up and just join the conversation and start drinking their pee, we're going to live in a healthier world. Thing is that we all are on vibration, so it's magnetic energy, and we attract what we are and who we're being. And so if you're being really groovy with yourself and having love and hugs and really appreciating yourself for all you are being, that you'll draw their people into that exact same vibrational field. And it is a groovy thing. It's a groovy thing. So, hey, drink pee, be happy. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. Hey, I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to DJ Danny D. He's been over here silently keeping this thing going. Pow! Hey, how did you like that opening number? Now that he recorded that this morning. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he recorded that this morning. As a matter of fact, I think we should play it again and take a little music break for a minute. We have about 23 more minutes left in the show. Let's just take a breather break for a moment and play that tune again. What do you think?
Sounds wonderful.
At night, drinking my weed, how good I feel. Drinking my weed, and I'm so real. I'm drinking my weed. Drinking my weed. I drink my pee and I feel free. Drinking my pee and it's good for me. I drink my pee and it tastes so good. I won't stop even though I could. I drink my pee. I drink my pee.
Is that great?
and I just want to say, I wrote a few of the lyrics there, but the actual tune came from a YouTube channel. I don't know the dude's name, but the YouTube channel is Got Productions, and you can find that song. I think it's called the Wee Song or something similar. You could type in urine song, wee song, drink my pee song. But yeah, I just made my little twist on it.
And that is awesome. And Got Productions is actually that they do the promotional some promotional stuff for Stephen Williams, who has the documentary film out Urinate, which is also a big shift, and it's been winning awards in 3 different film festivals that it was entered in. And it's picking up steam. He's had a lot of interviews. That's a plan I want. So let's all put it out there. I get Stephen here interviewing with us, talking about the film, and that'll be awesome because the gates are opening up. Everything's opening up. Why? Because of pee. We're drinking our pee, right? I'm gonna take some, I took a pee break, folks. That's why the music, it works. because I drink my pee.
We drink our pee.
Yeah, say something while I drink up here, darling. We don't want dead air.
As well, when the things that I watched or played with, I mean, about a couple of years ago, my neighbor moved away. She's 94, coming this February. But what inspired me to really just hope, I mean, I got these 2 herb books that Rama gave me, and I've played and with the herbs and I've observed the herbs, taken the herbs, but grasping and with the that dietary habit that I had, I could feel the herbs, but as soon as I grasped my addictions or habits as really unnecessary, that the herbs really I could feel their action, and then also observe how the urine is facilitating those herbs back in to our body. I was on a thread with a conversation that someone asked about the aged urine, and I observed Rama, and he told me to, as urine ages, how to introduce it to your body. Quick note is that through the skin. You, at some point by day 3, or at least 48 hours, that your urine will smell of the aroma that is of that batch, as well taste. And he shared that that's when to introduce the urine, about the aged drinking urine, because your body will have, people that drink the aged urine can exhibit or feel the detoxification, healing that goes on. But the body has then from that level of skin first application, then drinking it in your own urine, because it's markered in there, because the skin absorbs it, that you're able to take the aged urine singly on its own, by sipping it or swishing it, and then slowly doing more body rubs, you can smell and taste the aged urine in your fresh urine.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Hey, I want you to tell us about your Orimus, what you produce. Just go through the steps of that, because people are always asking, again, that's another question that asks a lot, what's the white stuff on the bottom? That is Orimus, and that is valuable right there. And so why don't you talk about that a bit? What your experience of processing and saving, the real alchemy of the Orimus.
Well, I guess it's our human monatomical minerals that the body at that time doesn't use. That's why we excrete them, but we can collect them. And through the aging process of the urine aging, you can, as the pH level starts to rise more to the alkalinity aspect, the urine starts to, break down or disperse like a snow coming down out of the urine, and collects at the bottom. It'll appear white, a cream color at the bottom, and by for sure by month 4, 5, and 6 that you can definitely see a very definite color of the Orimus. And I siphon off the urine. Instead of pouring off the urine, you have a better isolation of collecting the Orimus that way. And for 3 days, you rinse the Orimus with a fresh urine. And then you mix that fresh urine with the Orimus, let it settle for 24 hours, siphon off that fresh urine, and put a new fresh urine the second day. and stir it. On that third day, to siphon off the second day's urine, fresh urine, and then add your third day fresh urine, and on that fourth day, siphon off the day three's fresh urine from the ormus because it's settled in the bottom of the glass. And you can contain it by keeping a lid on it, or, as I was shown, to leave it in a shallow dish so you can scrape it out, because it takes about 4 months to dry it at an open air, maybe longer. It all is depending on the structure and, I think the temperature of where you're keeping it. I'm here in the north. It might take longer than in the summertime.
Right.
Here in Minnesota.
Right. Hey, I've got a caller that's coming in. Shall we take the call?
Sure.
Okay. All right. How do we do this?
Caller 347. You're on the line.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Dr.
Who we?
Roz and Daniel. This is Dr. Precise. How y'all
Hey,
doing?
DP.
Hey,
Hello.
DP.
For
Right.
life. DP for life. So, how y'all doing? I'm listening. I'm at work, and I had some problems on my computer, so I left the ORIN Oracle page on it while the IT guy's on there. And, plain sight, I don't think he notices, but the way we were going back and forth, he was pissing me off. So I left and went upstairs, and I'm all alone here, so I can really talk about urine. But I'm enjoying the show, and I'm looking forward to more shows, listening. I got my boots yesterday, Roz, in the mail. I got
Awesome.
some, I think I got some, I got like 3 pairs, and they're yellow. So people are going to notice, but I like the feeling of when I wear them,
Cool.
besides my feet getting nice and soft.
Oh, yeah.
I tried
Maybe
to wear them
soft.
to sleep one time, and I wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning. I try to sleep with them, and it doesn't work for me. I think it might be just at the point where I ground. Because I think you get so much energy. You put Azorin inside your shoes, and you're giving your feet breathing. You're giving your feet oxygen. You're giving your feet moisture.
Yep.
So automatically, I'm ready to go. Like 1 something in the morning. What's that about?
The energy, what's the
interesting.
surge? I mean, I usually,
Yeah.
in the morning when I do the fresh urine body rubs, I mean, though I might feel tired, by the time I've rubbed my arms and shoulders, I'm crystal clear awake.
Just for you people that might be coming in and listening now, we have Dr. Roz on the line. We also have Doc Precise, who's going to be our guest on January 2nd, the day after the new year. He's going to bring in the conversation with us about how it's all an inside job. Isn't that right, Doc?
It is all an inside job. Everything that they tell you from the outside is actually going on inside. Whether it's a disease, whether it's something they formulated to say you're suffering from this, whether you create something, you bring that in from your own inside. And that's everything. And you can also work it out inside. If anybody remembers The Secret, they said, incurable. And you remember they turned that word around and said cure within. So everything could be looked at from that premise, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah. Me too. We had such a great chat yesterday. DP and I did, and I'm just honored. I'm honored to have brothers and sisters like this in my life. I've been patiently waiting to have this type of community come forth in my life. And I don't know about you, everybody I've met so far in the urine therapy community felt a little bit isolated and like loners. And I've always been a bit of a loner. I'm okay with that. But I really do celebrate this community, and I thank you both. I thank you both for coming in and joining this conversation, because both of you mean the world to me. And I love having you in my life.
I love you guys
My
too.
pleasure.
I love you guys for making this a journey where we could be, we're trying. Nothing like the interactive, like the symposium, which I am going to be at next year.
You're here.
This is where it is.
Yeah, we're on it. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Anthony A.K. King, who is the producer and the founder and the thought behind the Water of Life Symposium, which will be in Las Vegas this next coming year, September 21st through the 23rd, and it'll be at the Westgate. And you can get your tickets now. You can go ahead. They're only $35. You can go to Water of Life Symposium and order up your reservation. You can book rooms. There's all sorts of... and the hoodies. You can get hoodies, too. He's got these beautiful hoodies that he's made as a part of the fundraising effort. And they're in black or white, and it's all about keeping your peace together. And they're beautiful. And I want to thank him personally for, he put together that meme that got shot out on Messenger and then later got posted on the Facebook pages this morning. But he put that all together for me, and I was just so enthralled and moved, man. Thank you so much for your love, your brotherhood. You know, this is, it's so huge. It's so huge. Man, this is a movement.
India, they shouted him out. I'm sorry. Dr. Arajak Loda was featured in the newspaper in India. And I saw the emblem for the symposium in the background with Dr. Arajak talking. And I thought that was huge. Somebody posted that actually in one of the groups. That's like, this is being heard around the world. We're broadcasting, like you said, to the world. And so the world, in fact, the universe hears us right now. So we can only go one way is up.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This is the point I want to drive home in all of this, is that this collective is about all of us. And we're all just branding ourselves. We're making our own shit up as we go along. I mean, I have my whole life. I know others have as well. We're branding with the Water of Life Symposium so people recognize the logo imaging. We're branding with the ORIN Oracles. I'm branding with Weedu Shivambu. We're branding with Dr. Roz, with Doc Precise, with DJ Danny D. We're all taking our ownership, our identity, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're bringing it like a giant art colony. A bunch of pissaholics. Instead of AA meetings, we're going to go to PA meetings. But it's not anonymous. It's P-all. P-all, everybody. I'm me and I drink my pee. Right? The symposium. Come to the symposium. You'll feel free to drink your pee. Ha ha. Just like that.
I gotta go, guys.
Hey, thanks for joining in, Doc. I look forward to our show.
I do too.
Bye, Doc.
Listening in. I love you guys. I felt you.
Awesome. Peace out, brother.
Wow.
I have to keep adjusting my camera because the angels are flying in behind me.
The sunshine.
Yeah, the sunshine keeps breaking on through to the other side. We're getting our photosynthesis on. So this has really been an awesome opportunity. Man, Roz, I love you so dearly. You are you are such a special gift to the human beings. And I'm honored to call you my friend, always.
I'm honored to have you as my friend. And Danny D.
And DJ Danny G. He's working it back here, folks. None of this would really be happening like this if he didn't jump in and help me out. Really believe me on that. Number one, I wouldn't have figured all this shit out. But number two, attempting to run all this stuff while just staying present and on air it wouldn't be like this, folks. So I want to give my shout outs to DJ Danny D because he's rocking the house. My homeboy. He's so awesome. Yeah, and so we got 5 more minutes left. So again, I want to remind everybody that this is our very first podcast, broadcast, and many more to come. Every Tuesday at 12 noon Central Standard Time, we'll come live from Orintown, Missouri, unless we're somewhere else, and we'll always be live. And we're going to figure out how to get more bandwidth so we can expand the horizon and include the Facebook conversation in as well. We're not technically challenged, just reception challenged. So we'll correct that and have that happening. So again, I welcome you, and I hope you join in the conversation. I please welcome you to go to the paypal.me /Weedu. If you want to contribute anything's welcome, but for the first 100 donations at $25, we'll get numbered and signed copies of the ORIN Oracles Book 1, and I'm excited about that. We want to get that off to the publisher so that we can get those signed copies off to you as soon as possible. And I'm so jazzed, and I'm really honored. Whoever's out there listening, I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I hope the broadcast was coming through good for you, and it's been totally rocking for us over here. It's just been a beautiful, beautiful opportunity to be here now, and so wherever you are, get started. You too can drink your pee, just like all of the rest of us. If you're still scratching your head and wondering, just drink your pee, and that'll answer the question for you. It's a pretty simple answer to a very simple question. When's a good time to start? Now. What pee should I drink? Yours. How will it help me? In every way I can think of. Pretty simple stuff, right? The perfect cure. And that's why we're doing it. That's why I do it. Why do you do it? Why do you drink your pee, Roz?
It is of me. And I truly want to fulfill my need or desire of who I am. And know and understand that all I am.
It is a perfect barometer, isn't it?
It is.
And then that's another whole thing. People go, oh, the taste, the this, that, and the other. I assure you that I didn't start drinking pee because I was looking for a tasty beverage. I had plenty of those to surrender and reconsider. I drink pee because it's a healthy choice. I drink pee because it revitalizes me. I drink pee because I don't have to take painkillers anymore. I take pee because I'm a proactive instead of a reactive human in beingness.
90 seconds.
Oh, 90 seconds. We're being cued by the Q lady. So any further thoughts you want to add as we tick down, Roz?
Drink of yourself. The waters are warm and they run deep, giving you the best that you all can be.
There you go. DJ Danny, you got something to say on the way out?
60 seconds.
Drinking pee is definitely the greatest gift given to me in my life, and it's the greatest information I could possibly think of sharing to anybody, of the knowledge of the water, and that's it.
Cue music. we're going to roll out with the music. We got 35 seconds left, so we're just going to say goodbye and let the music speak for itself. We love you.
Love you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you, and thank you. Keep your peace together.
10 seconds.
All right. So this is the little after party on YouTube because we just finished the broadcast and that's out, but we're here. I'm going to wrap it up now, but thanks again for all of your participation, all the comments. You know, we're going to go back and yes, this is all being recorded, so you can come back. Anybody who missed the stream, we're going to be in the stream always. So thank you again. Love you. Keep your peace together. Ciao for now. Say goodbye, Roz.
Bye-bye.
There she goes.